Propaganda is a powerful weapon in war. It's used in rallies and protests, and elections even. It is a biased, usually politically and negatively charged message sent in order to persuade an audience to believe and act a certain way. It is a means toward influencing public opinion, and whether the information spread is negative or not, it is usually used to spread hatred or anger towards a certain group or institution of people.
In 1622 was the first time we ever heard the word propaganda appear. It was actually by the Catholic Church with Pope Gregory XV, where he was doing the propaganda of sacred faith. So propaganda was actually around before that. It was used since the Greek times. The Greeks didn't use exactly modern propaganda, but they had their own method of, involving propaganda into politics and different elements of society. Modern propaganda was established as early as 1588 with the Spanish Armada, actually, where both the Spanish and the British used propaganda to support what they were doing, even though a lot of people didn't agree with it. Ultimately, their campaign didn't work and the Armada began to fall apart.
So there's lots of different types of propaganda. Most of the famous propaganda of them all is probably the Nazi propaganda during World War II. They used a lot of different tactics and strategies to target, Germans to fight for Hitler against the Jews. They really degraded Jews to make them look like they were less than even humans, made fun of them, put them on newspapers, put them on, any kind of advertising to really brainwash people. Disney created their own propaganda for World War II. They used characters like Donald Duck and all that stuff for us to really be motivated to, participate in that war. And it's crazy because it's Disney. Media propaganda, it's huge. There's one where these men, it's not their heads, there's actually TV screens as their heads, and they have string attached to their backs, and it's like someone holding onto it as if, the media really controls what we do and how we act and how we see things, and it just comes to show how even that Nazi propaganda really brainwashed people.
So there are ways to recognize propaganda, such as the first one would be name calling, where they use examples in their posters like calling people racist, bigots, sexist. And then there is card stacking, where in propaganda they cover the truth by using false information, making it viewed as correct to society. Then there's testimonial, where they use a prominent figure, such as a celebrity or a political figure, to make it seem like, oh, if these people are advertising this, then I should be involved in what they're advertising. Then there is glittering generalities, where they use positive words such as oh, our country's the great, or what we're doing is good, we're all honest, and then people start to believe it and see oh, it is positive, so I should be involved with what they're doing. Then there is plain folks, where they use a prominent figure to make them viewed as a regular person in society, where they can relate to everyone, and then that's how they get to monopolize people, to make them seem oh, they're regular people, they're just like me, and so what they're doing should be good for the nation.
Knowing what we know about propaganda, we can make more educated and careful decisions about people. We can choose to not rely on simplistic messages that could potentially harm a certain group of people. The end.
Boom!